but he's traveling with his family, so he sends his regards, and I will be speaking on his behalf. So first of all, we want to say thank you and congratulations to Mayor Fisher. Mr. Mayor, when you stepped into office in 2010, Main Street looked completely different than it does today, and Frazier did too. So thank you so much for all that you've done. You've supported us at the Frazier, and it's just wonderful to see all these amazing changes happening in the city that we all love. We also want to take this opportunity to welcome Alex Marks and his Dream Hotel team. We've worked with them the past couple of years to get this done and for it to include a couple of our buildings. So we're very excited that we're going to get the ball rolling on that. And I've had the opportunity to visit some of their other locations in other cities, and they are a first-class organization. They're really going to bring so much to Main Street, and which means more people and more business to downtown. When Mr. Frazier invested in this block in 2001, and he opened the museum in 2004, but unfortunately, a couple of the buildings have been vacant for the last 20 years. So this is going to really make this whole block thrive. Between Michter's on one end, the Frazier Museum on the other, Sons of the American Revolution, and now the Dream Hotel, this block is just going to be abuzz with business and opportunities. Between this, the Reimagined 9th project and the expansion of Waterfront Park to our west, this area between 9th and Main will be buzzing with activity 24 hours a day, and before long, people will be asking, what was the 9th Street divide? Thank you, Dream Hotel, and thank you, Louisville Metro Government, for helping us bridge that divide. I'd like to introduce Mayor Fisher.
All right, great job. Thanks so much. So, this is an exciting day for us, and another great announcement with the continued momentum of the city. The Frazier has been a tremendous partner with us in so many different ways, from the revitalization of West Main Street to capturing the history, certainly being the trailhead of the Bourbon Trail now for the entire state as well. So just, it's been really a great run and deeply appreciated. And you know what the good news is? We're just getting started. So today I'm excited to celebrate another big investment along our beautiful and historic Museum Row. And that, of course, is the wonderful Dream Hotel. You're seeing the renderings in the back here. So when you think about this hotel, of course, this announcement is tremendous in and of itself. When you think about this from a placemaking standpoint, it really fills in some critical pieces of the puzzle. Let's start on East Main. East Main, we're going to have one of the city's newest restaurants and probably one of the country's most celebrated restaurants with Ed Lee at the helm of that. And now we're coming all the way down Main Street here to West Main. It's really critical that we filled in this block here. We had the Frazier here, and then of course we had the buildings next door that were looking for some love and care for several years, and boy, did they ever find it with the Dream Hotel. And then just to the west of us, we've got 9th Street. 9th Street is going to be reimagined and rebuilt in 2024, 2025. We've already got the money for that with the federal raise grants and other local participation and state participation. So 9th Street is going to be going from this big boulevard to a really intimate, unique bonding boulevard or bonding avenue between the west and the east of town. And of course, right across from that, Waterfront Park Phase 4, Peerless, and then the new Beecher Terrace. So just a tremendous remaking of this part of the town in a really neat way. And I think over the coming years, between Main Street and Market Street, with the kind of investment that we've got going on right now, and the unique buildings that we have, and the urbanism experiences, and the lodging experiences, these are going to be two of the great streets in America, where people will be coming from all over the world to say, what happened? How did this transformation take place? And look at this beautiful built environment here. So Emily Lou and your team, thank you so much for all the good work here. Ben Moore, and your good work with our economic development team as well. This project is no small project when you take a look at the renderings here. This initiative will feature six food and beverage outlets, a rooftop event space and a meeting space, and a public courtyard and art space. And it will activate this section of West Main Street in a new way, as I mentioned, making it even more of a destination, morning, noon, and night, similar to what we saw around the KFC Yum Center and how that revitalized that area of the city, and the Kentucky Center, and what we see over in Nulu now, and what you see in Whiskey Row. So all of these pieces of the puzzle are being pulled together into this two great extensions we talked about with Main Street and Market Street. I really want to thank the Dream Hotel Group and Royal Investments. We've been working on this project quite some time. Been about, 2 years or so? And it took all the pieces of the puzzle falling into place for this to happen. But we pushed it through. I want to thank the state for helping us as well, and the Metro Council, of course, for passing this just a couple of weeks ago. So the Frazier here, with the proximity to so many great attractions, we've got Frazier, the Ali Center, Frazier Museum and its Barrel and Billets Experience, Science Center, KMAC, Michter's, Kentucky Peerless. There's a lot to do here. So it's not just going to be the Dream Hotel guests that enjoy this, but guests from all over the country. Next year, we'll add the Bardstown Bourbon Company tasting room right across from the Science Center, and Buzzard's Roost Micro Distillery will be added to this list of attractions as well. And then there's going to be more announcements as well that the next mayor can do, because there's a lot of things in the hopper right now that we'll be seeing added to our city and make it even more dynamic. I want to recognize the Louisville Forward team. I mentioned Ben Moore, who runs our economic development. Thank you, Ben, so much for the good work you're doing. Jeff O'Brien, who oversees all of Louisville Forward. They both work closely with the Dream Hotel to make this happen. Alex Marks, if you're listening out there, thank you for sticking with us. You're coming into a city with tremendous momentum. Thank you for having the foresight to see that. I also want to thank the Metro Council for approving the local participation for this project. I particularly want to thank Councilman Ja'Cory Arthur, whose district we're standing in, for supporting this project and for his work on the community benefits agreement. So great collaboration between Louisville Forward, my office, the council, the Dream Hotel Group, Alex Marks and his team, are coming up with community benefits that are going to be win-win for everybody here. Now, this is a great project in and of itself, but one of the additional reasons we wanted to announce it is with the approval of this development, 2022 is now the best year for economic investment in the history of our city. So we took it to the very end, but with our team at Louisville Forward, they have secured projects totaling more than $2 billion here in 2022. So it's a great accomplishment, and it's another good reason why Louisville Forward has been recognized 8 years in a row as one of the best economic development teams in the entire United States of America. Now, in total this year, Louisville Forward has located 46 projects that will create more than 3,500 new jobs in our city and pay an average wage of $61,910. These are family-supporting wage jobs, and that's been our big emphasis since coming into office 12 years ago, was we don't just want any jobs. We want jobs that people can have a career with and support their families. So once again, we've been able to achieve that with these jobs we've worked on here in 2022. These projects obviously are going to help grow our economy by strengthening our core industries. Food and beverage sector is one of the four we compete with, where we think we either are or can be best in the world. But then obviously the tourism and hospitality sector on top of that benefit from this project. Now, this Dream Hotel development reflects the really good economic momentum we've experienced over the last decade that's changed our downtown skyline, brought millions of visitors, 19 million visitors to our city, and created a whole new vibrancy and industry in downtown. We now have day in and day out tourism. We didn't really have that before urbanism really started expanding the way that it did. And as I mentioned, I think on a scale of 1 to 10, when 10 is where we're maxed out with urbanism, I think we're probably at around a 3 right now. So there's just all kinds of room to grow with the urbanism experience. And I got to smile with this project's name, the Dream Hotel. Why? Because one of the things I said when we came in office in 2011 We were still in the Great Recession, facing a $22.5 million deficit with our budget and unemployment around 10%. I said, it's tough right now, but we got to dream big. We got to dream for better days ahead. We got to dream for all the good things that we're going to be able to do to impact the city that we all love. And of course, we're in a very different place since 2011. 80,000 new jobs have been created in the city, 3,000 new businesses to start. Instead of a 10% unemployment rate, we're at 3% unemployment rate. So if you want to get a job, you can find a good job today in Louisville. Then we created a new hospitality concept. I didn't understand why Louisville wasn't embracing its role with bourbon heritage. So we said, what happens if we celebrate bourbon, our local food and restaurant scene, great chefs, great farmers, and tourism, put that all together and call it bourbonism. And people looked at us a little funny, Rebecca, at the beginning, but they said, oh, it's got a nice ring to it. So let's call this experience bourbonism. So Louisville is now the trailhead of the Kentucky Bourbon Trail. We've got about a dozen new distillery and bourbon experiences. We're internationally recognized for the culinary additions that we have, and certainly we have an energized Whiskey Row and 15 new hotels downtown. As I said, the Main Street and Market Street corridors from east to west are increasingly vibrant and really have a wonderful future in front of them. Today, bourbonism helps us draw these 19 million visitors that I spoke about and generates almost $3.5 billion in new money. And our 2022 results are exceeding pre-pandemic records. So for folks that thought we could never recover from the pandemic, the demonstrations, we're here to say that both our economic output and our tourism numbers are now bigger than what they were in 2019. Why? We did it together. And that's one of the things I just want to continue to emphasize. This was not the result of any one person or any one group. It was all of the citizens of Louisville working together to create more opportunity. So we should own these successes as a city, and we should benefit from these successes from each and every resident. When you think about the $24 billion in capital investments that have taken place throughout Louisville, they're all around our city, including $1.5 billion in West Louisville alone. So we're really happy to include Dream Hotel in this list. And with us today, representing the Dream Hotel Development Group, is Chris Kaufman, an attorney at Frost Brown Todd. Chris, I want to thank you for having the persistence and tenacity to close a deal. Sometimes they happen fast, usually not. But this was a project that just kept getting better with age as well. So Chris, we really appreciate your leadership. Please welcome Chris Kaufman.
Good morning. Thank you, Mayor Fisher. Thank you for over a decade of dedicated leadership in this community. Really appreciate you and all you've done. I'm Chris Kaufman, as Mayor Fisher said, Frost Brown Todd. One downside of this great event is that you don't get Alex Marks, you get the tax attorney. So unfortunately, that's what you get this morning. But Alex couldn't be here today, and I'm here on behalf of the development team, multi-talented development team, many members here in the audience that Alex leads. I know that he really wanted to be here in person to celebrate this moment with you all, to say thank you to many of you, but unfortunately he wasn't able to make it, and definitely hope we can convey his thanks and his wonderful moment that this is for his team. On behalf of Alex and the rest of the project development team, we're so thankful for the continued support, efforts, and cooperation of Mayor Fisher, Metro Council, especially District 4 Councilman Arthur and Brianna Wright, the great team at Louisville Forward. We couldn't have done this without Jeff O'Brien, Ben Moore, and their staff, Louisville Downtown Residents Association, Rebecca Fleischaker, her team at Louisville Downtown Partnership, and Cleo Battle and his team at Louisville Tourism. As has been talked about, the historic importance of this project, the architectural history of the West Main Street Historic District, planning and designing this project was no easy task. being able to preserve that historical heritage and history, but also welcome the new construction and amenities of a new development. It's difficult to blend those two together. So we're very thankful for the thoughtful review of Metro government staff, Emily Liu and her team, the West Main Street Architectural Review Committee in reviewing the plans and making thoughtful decisions about what was necessary, what was important, and also permitting new development in the place of historic assets. Also thankful to the Frazier Museum and the Pagano family, their ongoing support, the property acquisitions and support with the development. Also want to say thank you to all the great neighbors in this block. It's definitely going to be wonderful to see the buzz and the revitalization that this project will bring. And then finally, also want to thank the local design, construction, and legal team that's been vital and incredible to work with in this project, Joseph and Joseph Architects, Calvin Construction, and the great people at Frost Brown Title. But we definitely appreciate everyone. This has been a team effort, as Mayor Fisher said. A lot of moving pieces, a lot of moving parts, and just amazing people throughout have helped to get this project to the finish line. So we definitely look forward to kicking off this project in 2023 and seeing this great downtown cultural and tourism destination come to life. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. As mentioned earlier, Main Street's gone through a tremendous revitalization right now. So Lorianne Roberts, who's the executive director of the Main Street Association, has had a fun job these past couple of years when we reflect back on where we were and where we are now. And of course, the best is yet to come. So please welcome Lorianne.
I get to lower that just a touch. Main Street's a great street. If you think about economic development and some of the things that might have spurred it on, you have to think might have spurred it on. Think back to the movie Stripes, when the production company picked the building at 7th Main for the apartment in the movie. And yes, you can go in that movie and you can see my office. Main Street has continued to revitalize, grow. When we moved here in 1984, we had Stairways, which was owned by the Junior League of Louisville. If you looked west from there, you really didn't want to go that far. Next, we have Hilliard and Bradstreet, who opened up their museum. We had Humana, who built their headquarters. We had the Center for the Arts that came in. We have always had an opportunity to build on what's here in Main Street, the integrity, the city, the revitalization, the adaptive reuse of buildings, and keep growing and showing that it is one of the most iconic streets in the United States. And we are so pleased to have the Dream Hotel come and join us and to welcome it to the community and to the neighborhood around it. Main Street Association has been here for well over 40 years, trying to keep the dream going and keep building on the success that we've had with each project that gets developed. And we can't say enough about our partnership that we've also had with LD&D to continue to provide safety and just meeting people along the street to make sure that the community is built with business and tourism. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Lorianne. And our final speaker is the dynamic CEO of the Little Downtown Partnership. Please welcome Rebecca Flashanger.
Well, as you've heard, economic development is the long game. Lorianne gave some history of what has been developed over decades. When I was a city staffer, when I started with city government in 2000, these buildings were vacant. And I think we have to go back to the 60s and 70s. Louisville was too broke to tear down buildings, so we are lucky that we did lose some gems, but we're lucky that these buildings still stand and can be redeveloped. And that's what makes Main Street so authentic and so special. Mayor Fisher has talked about how authentic and different we are. You know you're in downtown Louisville when you are on downtown streets. Historic preservation has gotten kind of a bad rap. It's a bad name. But really, we are so lucky because it is the intersection of knowing our history, looking back at our legacy, but moving forward with progress. And the Dream Hotel does that. These buildings along Main Street do all of that. We're so lucky to have the ability for adaptive reuse. And it does change the tenor and the flavor of West Main Street. And I'm really excited for when it opens, and we'll be telling people all about it and adding it to our documents of what you should visit when you're in downtown. Mayor Fisher, thank you for dreaming and making us dream and see it with you. Downtown would not be what it is without your vision, so thank you so much.
Thank you, Rebecca. And with that, I'd like just to say one last thank you to Alex Marks and the team at the Dream Hotel Group and Royal Investments for creating what's going to be a signature property here amongst one of the signature streets in our city and certainly the country as well. So the best is yet to come for our city, and this is just one more example of it. Look forward to being here as a private citizen, meandering around, having a nice meal, maybe an old-fashioned, and reminiscing about days gone by and better days yet to come. All right, any questions? Thank you all for covering this today. Thanks, everybody.
Hi, I know you want to get back to your live stream, but I want to take this minute to talk about Images by Patrick. Hi, I'm Patrick, and I've been a professional photographer for over 25 years, specializing in actors' headshots, professional headshots, family portraits, and much, much more. You can find me at www.imagesbypatrick.photography or find me on Facebook at Images
Are you
by...
ready to transform your organization? Chenault Solutions provides capacity building services for leaders and teams ranging from strategic planning, program evaluation, and organization management training. For more information, please visit http://Chenault.solutions. Chenault Solutions.
If you do nothing else,
If you do nothing else.
If you do nothing else.
If you do nothing else.
If you